What's going on, guys? Unknown Player here, and today we've got an absolute ton of stuff to talk about for Forsaken and things happening right now, as well as in the future with more DLCs and events and content. So there's a new secret code that's just been unlocked, and it relates to Petra Revenge and also a very difficult challenge. We actually learned about the Thorn, Last Word, and Thunderlord, and which one of those is going to be returning soon. And there's also a bunch of in-game hints and lore about the Last Word in particular that I want to call out. We're also going to be talking about some old characters like Master Ives, the Cryptarch of the Reef, some pretty strange stuff about him, as well as other random bits of news and general stuff that you guys should be aware of. So as always, we've got a lot to get through inside today's video. If you do enjoy it and want to support this channel, you can do so by hitting the like button down below. Without further ado, let's get into it. So I did want to talk about Festival of the Lost and some old characters and pretty strange things I noticed. So in this very small clip that we got from Bungie in a recent trailer, we can see the tower, and this is during the festival event. Now I did say back when it came out, the guy in the middle, the hologram purple thing, does look a lot like Master Ives, the old Reef Cryptarch in Destiny 1. I still definitely think it's him. The profile is the exact same as this image. You can see the little poncho thing over his shoulder, the little strap that goes over from one side to the other, his bald head, his collar, everything about him looks identical. You can even barely see those little blue feathers on his left shoulder, or the one to our right. It was only recently when I looked at this again that I realized this entire scene, the setting, looks a lot like a memorial. I mean, the event is the Festival of the Lost. That's the entire point of the event, to mourn and celebrate the dead inside Destiny. That's what it means. If you also look to the left and right, you can see more holograms of other people. These are other characters. You can't really make out, especially on the left. It's very kind of vague and hard to see. But these are 3 tables with these boxes and holograms of these characters we know, and a bunch of candles, and it looks very sad. It looks like a memorial. I'm starting to think that these characters may actually be dead, whoever they are, these 3 of them. Maybe the one on the right is actually Cade and we can't see him, but again, it would make sense for the festival to mourn and celebrate Cade. This is just my crazy theory, and I could be wrong, but what if Master Ives is actually killed off and the character does die? Firstly, this would make sense because the entire reef was destroyed and just overrun when the Barons went crazy and wrecked the place. I mean, if you think about the Veshan Outpost, the old social space, everyone is gone. Petras obviously in the Dreaming City, Brother Vance is in Mercury, Varric's left the Prison of Elders as well, he's not there either. So it does make you think, what did happen to Master Ives? Did he make out the reef, or was he actually killed inside it? Now, the second reason that they could have killed this character off, and is pretty big and does make a lot of sense, is because Master Ives does have the exact same voice actor as Devrim Kay. The voice actor is someone called Gideon Emery, who's pretty big in video game voice acting, but he does voice both characters, which does make a kind of problem. We can't have both at the same time in this game. I mean, both Ives and Devrim have pretty much the exact same voice. It's not like a different accent or a different voice or different tone he puts on. They sound very similar, so really Ives cannot come back into Destiny 2. And that's why I do think they may have just killed him off as a character, and this is his memorial. I would assume and definitely hope that one of these shrine things is for Cade 6. I mean, you can't have Master Ives front and center and not have Cade. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. Am I crazy or am I on something? It's a character we haven't heard of in a while in the reef that did get overrun, that of course has the same voice actor, and it looks like a memorial, so maybe he's dead. In terms of the festival event itself, we know nothing about it so far. All Bungie said is it's going to return with a twist. I mean, before it never really had too much substance. It was just a few quest lines, a few cosmetics and Eververse stuff, and a bunch of costumes and masks, stuff like that. I do find it funny that on the Warlock's back you can see the Raid Scout rifle. So back then, this was before Forsaken came out, we had not seen any raid gear or any weapons. They didn't release them deliberately, of course, but it is funny that they did actually tease a raid weapon, but none of us actually knew at the time. So the Last Word and Thunderlord seem to be coming back, which probably might surprise a lot of you. I've been saying how lucky it was and how Bungie have been laying a bunch of hints about these particular weapons. So in terms of this info, it comes from a leak, and as always, I want to explain if it's actually credible or not, where it comes from. So the person that leaked this stuff is someone called Anon the 9, and if you don't know, they do have a perfect track record of leaking stuff in the past for Destiny 2. Before Forsaken was actually revealed, they detailed all 9 supers, 2 locations, enemies, a bunch more, and they specifically talked about a Warlock shooting this arc beam out of his hands and a Hunter reflecting bullets. And again, this was back in May, way before Forsaken was revealed, so nobody would know this stuff, and at the time nobody believed him, which is understandable because he had no track record, and the stuff he did say sounded kind of crazy, so nobody would believe him. So now this stuff has come out. He does have a track record of being right, and even right before Forsaken, he leaked even more stuff and was also correct about those as well. So at this point, we have no reason to believe this stuff was made up unless Bungie changed their mind, which can happen in development. Whoever they are, they definitely know someone at Bungie or Activision, or even work for them themselves, but either way, now we know this info is legit. So the first thing he said is that Black Armory, the December DLC, is going to have a Horde mode, which doesn't really excite me, to be honest. I think a lot of people at this point are pretty bored of just Horde modes, shooting waves of enemies over and over again. The interesting stuff, though, is that he said Thunderlord is coming back in Festival of the Lost. Now, we did see Josh Hamrick tease recently about machine guns coming in the future, and he used the word Thunderous, obviously a reference to the most famous exotic Thunderlord. Bungie have officially said that machine guns are coming in Black Armory, so we do know that as a fact, a full weapon type with legendaries and exotics and rares and all that kind of stuff. But I guess the Thunderlord exotic in particular, and maybe a few others, are going to be coming as early as Festival of the Lost, which, if you don't know, is going to be later this month towards the end of October. Now, the leaker did say that lots more classified exotics are coming in Festival, but you can't see those yet. And someone asked about Thorn coming back, and he said he couldn't see it, so it's probably a no. I mean, with Malfeasance being a Thorn replica that looks very similar and also functions a bit similar, I wouldn't be surprised if the Thorn doesn't return, but I would like to see Malfeasance get a buff. And now the good news is that the last word is coming back in Black Armory, so not the Festival, but the December DLC. So it's definitely not that surprising. We've seen a bunch of teasers, and Forsaken is all about the Outlaw and Hunters and hand cannons, Wild West, and even a storyline about Shin Malphur, the owner of the last word. Also, like I've said, the model for the top tree golden gun is actually the last word, just on fire. So technically in animation, the model is already in the game. There's even multiple points where characters do say the phrase last word, like Aldrin, for example, at the end of the campaign says how you've got the last word and we've got them down. So these things definitely aren't an accident. Now, based on the lore, I wouldn't be surprised if we do actually meet Shin Malphur in Black Armory at some point and we obtain the weapon from him. The thing is, even though he is this legendary hunter and definitely a good guy, at this current point, I don't know if he actually likes us Guardians that much. He may actually be against us. So as a vague summary, the Drifter did sort of set up the entire game mode with the supervision of Shin Malphur, so he could study us as Guardians, see how we play, and also watch out for people that enjoy it a bit too much and might become Dredgens. The Drifter is basically farming the enemies for their energy to build a massive Taken army, which is a whole different topic. But Shin Malphur, again, the last word golden gun guy that killed Dredge and Yor and Callum in the Malfeasance questline, he is watching to see if any of us get too crazy, and he said he will try to kill us if he sees any Guardians going down a dark path that might become Dredgens, which we literally are. That's what the Dredgen title is. So technically, I don't think we're on his good side right now. Also, when the Drifter gives us Malfeasance, which is a Thorn replica, and Shin definitely won't be happy about us having, he does say that watch out, this might put you on Shin Malphur's radar and he might come for us. So Bungie yet again have set up a pretty interesting story. I don't think we're gonna have like a showdown and try to kill Shin. Maybe we have to earn his trust or do a favor for him and then he gives us the last word. But either way, something is definitely gonna happen here. So Thunderlord and a bunch more exotics are coming later this month in Festival of Lost. Thorn that we know of so far is not coming back, and the last word is coming in Black Armory as well as a new Horde mode. I really hope it does have some interesting gameplay besides the shooting waves of dudes over and over again, but he did say the loot gets better the longer you survive, which sounds interesting, so hopefully it's like an infinite true Horde mode. Bungie did announce that Black Armory has a new activity called Forges of the Chain, so that is most likely the Horde mode, but let me know what you think of all this stuff in the comments. A bunch of you guys I'm sure are going to be happy about Thunderlord and of course last word. So moving on, we got another update to the Wall of Wishes inside the raid. One more wish has been found. I previously said that the last ones to be discovered are wish number 10, 13 and 15, but now number 13 has been found. Now what this does is super weird and it ties into a different secret we've been trying to figure out for a long time as well, but that is the Petras run version of the raid. So this, as you can see, is an image of what the plate looks like. This is the code you put into the wall, and this is an image from someone called Sneaky Beaver. Now what you have to do to even see this plate is something super strange, and that is you open every single chest at the end of the last wish raid. There are 24 in total. So that would mean that all 6 of you inside the raid team would need to have 4 keys each and use all of those, and of course have them stockpiled. You can, like I've shown, use the very first wish to get a bonus ethereal key, but of course other than that you have to stack them up from raids and not use them, but you can stack up to 5 max. But obviously now this code is out there, now it's public and we can see it. No one else has to do this, so I guess thanks to the first team that did this, we can now all see the code. But that isn't even the crazy part. So what this code does when you put it in is actually activate Petras run version of the raid, and what this is essentially if any of you die, just one of you, all of you go to orbit and you simply just fail the raid. It is way worse than the original Nightfall modifier. Just one person is all it takes and you all go back to orbit during a jumping puzzle, during Riven's Eye section, any part, no deaths. While you don't get any fancy loot or emblems or guarantee 600s or even a greater chance at 1,000 voices, you do get this raid completed triumph. While it isn't much a reward that is going to be required for the Rivensbane seal, so if you see someone with the Rivensbane title, you know they're pretty damn good at this game. Honestly, I think that in itself is much better than any other kind of loot reward you would normally get for a prestige mode, because this is going to be very, very rare and hard to get this seal or title. Some of the other raid challenges in here to get this badge is to do one, for example, an entire raid with teammates only inside your clan. There's also one to do a raid with a team using only Arc subclasses, one for Void subclasses and Solar, and also all using the same class, so you're all a Warlock, Hunter or Titan. But to be honest, pretty much every single seal or title is also pretty hard to get, so I would say the Gambit one is probably the easier one, although it still does require 3 of the meatballs to spawn and you get the rewards from it. The Lore one is a bunch of collectibles, so literally go around the entire game and collecting so much stuff around the place. Destinations is collect a whole bunch of loot, so get pretty much every single armor set and weapon set, shaders, sparrows, everything in the game. Crucible isn't too hard, I'm actually pretty close myself, but it does require to the max ranking glory across multiple seasons, so I think it's a time thing. And the Dreaming City one, which is called Curse Breaker, isn't too bad either, but it does require all the eggs and all the bones, which of course is a multi-week thing. So that leaves wish number 10, which I do think is going to be a super strange Easter egg. It's right in between the Hope for the Future, failsafe, and also grunt birthday party and the little head ornament. So it's bound to be some kind of weird Easter egg. Wish number 15 could be something massive. It could be game changing, some massive Easter egg, could activate a quest line, who knows, but I would imagine it's going to be something special. All the other wishes are just basic sentences, but 15 is actually a quote from Riven. So it says, "This one you shall cherish." So yeah, more wishes and more secrets being found every day. And of course, when 10 and 15 are found, I'll let you guys know. So stay tuned right here. But that is going to do it for today's video. As always, I hope you guys did enjoy it. And if you did, a like rating before you leave would be much appreciated. Like I always say, make sure you are subscribed if you're new to my channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss out my future videos. You can find both my Twitter and Instagram link down below in the description, and clicking on this image will take you to another video from myself. But as always, appreciate you guys for watching. I'll see you all in the next one.